Hello guys, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time coming across my channel, you're very much welcome. To my returning subscribers, thank you all so much for always coming back to watch my video. Okay, so guys, on today's video we are going to be learning how to cut and sew a beautiful Queen Anne neckline corset. So if this is the kind of video that you want to watch, please keep on watching and do not skip any part of the video. Okay, so let's dive in. So I've gone ahead to mark my shoulder line. The next line I'm going to mark out now is the bust point, okay? And then after marking the bust points, I also go ahead and mark out the under bust and the half length. If you don't know how to measure all these things, just place your tape on the tip of your shoulder and then measure down to your nipple and your under bust and then your half length. Your half length should be 2 inches above your navel. Okay. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and mark out my chest line. Okay. So So let's go ahead and label the lines. This is my chest line, which is bust line, the shoulder line, the bust point, under bust, and then the half length. I added extra 1 inch for allowance, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do now is to divide my bust round measurement by 4. I'm going to mark it out, and on my shoulder line, I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement by 2, okay? Then go ahead and mark it out, extend it down to the chest line, which is the bust line, and then I'm going to connect the two dots to form a straight line. So after I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark out the neckline. Okay, I went in with 3 inches and then I came down with 3 inches as well. So I'm going to also go ahead now and then come down from the shoulder with 1 inch, which is going to serve as the shoulder slope, and then I'm going to connect it like this. Okay, and then I'm going to connect the neckline with the help of my curve rule. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to divide the measurements, the length between this shoulder slope and the bust line. I'm going to divide it to get the midpoint. Okay, remember we are cutting the front piece first. So I'm going to go in with 1/2 inch, okay? And then the next thing I'm going to do is to connect all the whole dots to form our armhole, okay? To form the armhole, go ahead and connect all the dots, just as you can see me doing like this. So right now I'm done connecting it, and then the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my bust pan measurement by 2, which is my nipple to nipple measurement. If you don't have your nipple to nipple measurements, what you should do is just to go ahead and divide your bust strand measurement by 6. Okay, go ahead and mark it on the both lines and then connect to form a straight line like this. So for the under bust that intake, I'm going to go out from the side with 1.5 inches, and from the other side I'm going to go in with 1.25. Okay, so right now I'm going to extend it down to the half length, and I also repeat the same thing on this part. So the next thing I'm going to do here right now is to use my curve rule to connect to this point. Okay, just watch me closely so that you got to understand what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to use my curve rule to connect like this, and then I also flip it the other way around and then connect to the other side. Yes, okay, make sure that when you are connecting it, you come down with at least 1/2 inch from the bust point. Okay, because you don't want to have a very sharp point there, right? So for the upper bust tightening, I'm going to go up from the bust line with 1 inch, and then I'm going to extend the bust leg, the that leg I mean. So from the each side, I'm going to go out with 1 inch on the both side. Okay, but first of all I'm going to mark a straight line like this, so that it's going to be a guide for me. Okay, so I'm going in and out from the line, from that leg with 1 inch on each side, and I'm going to connect it back to the bust point. Okay, this is called the upper bust tightening. So after you are done, this is what we have. So for the neckline, it depends on how deep or high you want the neckline to be. You can as well make it to be deeper than mine. But for me, I want to come down from the bust line with just 1 inch. Okay. I want it to be a kind of, small dip. So, and from that point, I'm going to go in with half an inch, and then I'm going to connect the point like this. This is that line that used to be at the middle of your breast, okay, that demarcates your two breasts. So the next thing I'm going to do is to connect all the whole line to form a corset, okay. Please remember that if you don't want your own to be corset, you can just go ahead and connect the line, and then you are good to go. That is if you want to cut your own as a bustier, as a normal bustier, just go ahead and connect the line. No need of, imputing that corset line. So from here, I'm going to connect to this point at the under bust. I'm going to connect it like this, and from this part, um, I'm also going to connect to meet the armhole. Okay, so I'm going to connect it like this, and then I'll also go ahead and connect the downside as well to get our full corset round. So I'm trying to, mark it very well. So this is what we have after we are done. I'm going to go ahead and label it 1 and 2. Okay, and all the shaded parts is going to go out when I'll be cutting it. Okay, so now for the almighty Queen Anne neckline, guys, it depends on how you want your own to be. As long as you have gotten all the normal measurements, this one is just a simple task. Okay, so right now I'm going to connect from anywhere I want my own to start from. I'm going to connect it straight to meet the neckline. Okay, depending on how you want your own to position. So it all depends on you. But for me, from that upper bust tightening by the side, I'm going to go in with half an inch. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it straight to meet the neckline. So this is what we have after we are done. So if you want to put yoke for your own, this part right here will be the yoke. That is if you want to put yoke. So I'm going to go ahead now and label it as a yoke, and for me I want to put a yoke, but it's depend. I don't know if actually I'm going to cut the yoke, but let me just come down a bit with 2 inches from the neckline. I came down with 2 inches, and then for the total neck depth is just 4 inches. So I'm going to connect it like this. Okay, so after that, this is what we have. That space inside where I labeled yoke is going to serve as the yoke, which I'm going to be using a net on that part. Okay, a skin net on that part. So all the shaded part is going out. Okay, so after you are done getting all of this, the next thing I'm going to do is to start imputing our body measurement. So I'm going to divide my bust round measurement by 4. I'll put it, and I'll replace the dart intake and also add my normal allowance. Okay, and on the waistline, I'm also going to repeat the same thing. My waist round measurement divided by 4. I'll put it, replace the dart intake, and then add the normal allowance. After you are done getting all of this, the next thing you're going to do is to join the dots line. Okay, join the line. Okay, so this is what we have after we are done. So it depends on you if you want your own to have a backline. For me, I wanted to put a backline here, but guys, I totally forgot. So it's gonna be when I want to cut it on my main fabric, I will bring out space for that leg. So this is what we have. Remember I said earlier, if you want your own to be normal bustier, you can just go ahead and cut it like this. Okay, but if you want to work on a corset just like mine, let's go ahead and cut out all the corset parts. So I'm going to cut out right now. I hope you guys understand me very well. I hope you understand me, but if you don't understand me, please kindly leave your question down in the comment section. I'm going to answer all of that. Okay. So after we are done cutting it out, I'm going to label this one as the side front, the center front and the side front. Okay. And this one is the almighty Queen Anne neckline. So I'm going to label it as well. So that is it. So I'm going to put all of this aside now so that we can be able to work on the back piece. So I've gone ahead to bring out paper which I'll be using for the back piece. Okay, so right now I'm going to mark out the shoulder line, the bust line, and then the half length. I added extra 1 inch to that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and extend the whole line. I'm going to extend the whole line. Remember I told you guys earlier that I added extra 1 inch for allowance, for hemming allowance. I'll be joining allowance. Anyone? So while folding your fabric, if you're cutting directly on your fabric, remember to bring out zipper allowance. That is if you want to put your own zipper. Okay, if you want your own to have a zipper, go ahead and bring out zipper allowance of 1 inch. Okay, but for me, I don't want to put a zipper on my own because I want my own to be back loop. Okay, so right now I'm gonna head to label all the line, shoulder line, bust line, and then the half length. I'm going to divide my bust round measurement by 4, just as what we did earlier. I'll mark it on the bust line, and then I'll divide my shoulder measurement by 2. I'll mark it on the shoulder line. The neckline coming down with 1 inch and 3 inches for the neck depth width. So I'm going to connect all the whole dots. So from that shoulder line, I'm going to extend that shoulder measurement divided by 2 down to the chest line so that we can be able to have a straight line, which is going to help us to form our armhole. And for the shoulder slope, I came down with 1 inches, just as we did earlier on the front space, and then I divided the space to get my midpoint. So I've gone ahead to connect the shoulder slope, and then the next I'm going to do is just to connect from this part to this part. No need of coming in with half an inch because this is the back piece. Okay, so that is it. So I've gone ahead to connect it, and this is our armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my bust pan measurement, which is my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. I'm going to mark it on the both line, and then I'll connect the dots to form a straight line, which is going to serve as our dart leg. Okay, so from the line, I'm going to go in and out from the line with half inch, and then I'm going to connect it to form a dart. Okay, I hope you guys are following up. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to explain here. But please, if you have any question, do where to drop it down the comment section. Okay, so this is our dart leg. I'm gonna head to connect all the dots. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is to mark out the space for the looping. Okay, so I'm going to go in from this part, from the bust line. I'm going to go in with 3.5 inches, and on the downside I'm going to use 1 inch. Okay, or 1.5 inches. So I want that side to have this, this shape, like a triangular shape when you tie the rope finish. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and connect the dots. So it's going to have a shape like this, and all these parts will be going out. Okay, so for the keyhole, I'm going to come down from the neck depth with 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to come down with 1 inch, and then I'm going to mark it out. So from this point now, I'm going to connect straight or in a curvy way using my curve rule. I'm going to connect to the dart line. So can you see, it's very simple and easy. Okay, so all these places will be going out when I want to cut. Okay, so after we are done with all of this, the next thing I'm going to do now is to start inputting the body measurement. My bust round measurement divided by 4, I'm going to mark it down, and replace the dart intake and add allowance. And on the waistline, I'm going to divide my waist round measurement divided by 4, replace the dart intake and add allowance as well. So I'm going to connect the whole dot like this. Okay, so right now I'm going to label this one as the yoke, okay, the back yoke. So it's very important. So right now I'm going to go ahead now and cut out. That is after cross checking your work, please. It is very, very important. Always remember to cross check before you cut out to avoid any problem, okay? So right now I want to use this opportunity to thank my subscribers, my returning subscribers, and my returning viewers. Thank you all so much for always coming back to watch my video. The reason why I'm trying to pin down that part is because I don't want to sew a dart for the back. So I'm trying to, cover it up with my pin so that by the time I want to cut out, I'll cut as one piece. Okay, right now done I'm done with all the cutting, and what I'm trying to do here is to cut on the main fabric. So remember that I explained earlier that I did not add allowance for backline. So that is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to bring out about 5 inches down, so that by the time I want to join it, I'm going to mark out that line for backline. Okay, and this is only for the back, for the front piece. This is only for the front piece. Okay, so and for the breast cup, what you are going to do there is just to add extra half an inch all the way around, just half an inch all the way around for sewing allowance. So and remember to also notch so that by the time you are joining it, it will be very easy for you. Okay, so I'll also repeat the same thing on the back piece. I'm going to fold and then cut out. Another thing is that, guys, please, while when doing all of this, remember to fold your fabric when cutting out on the main fabric. The reason why I did not fold the paper is because I don't have enough paper. Okay, so but when you are cutting it on the main fabric, remember to fold it. It's very, very necessary and important. Okay, so I'm going to also cut the Queen Anne neckline. So this is the lace that I'll be using for this work. Okay, I cut this one. I'm not going to add any what is it called, mirror face or doll face to it. So I'm just going to attach it just like this. Okay, so guys, if you want to know how to sew this particular dress, guys, please, and you have not joined the family, please, I beg you to hit on that subscribe button and also turn your bell notifications on so that whenever I post that one, you are going to see it. So after I'm done cutting all of that, I also go ahead and cut on the lining exactly what I cut earlier, the I'm going to also gum it with gum stay. Okay, I'm going to be using this cloth gum for this work, so I'm going to gum with gum stay before doing. So I'm going to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Bye.